Well, all
So,
right. I've
yeah.
got Mark Adams here with me. Mark is an incredibly impressive athlete. He's a triathlete. He's been doing triathlons for
Well, since '81.
1981. That's when Empire Strikes Back came out. That's I think that's how I remember. I
Yeah.
was 4
Oh my goodness.
when you did your first one.
Yeah.
Mark is if you don't mind me telling your age, I'm proud of you. So if that's
7,
okay.
yeah,
You're
sure.
70 years old. He's 70 years old. We met you last year.
Around December.
Around December, and he's also getting an IV therapy. Mark just finished his 48th
Capital 10, which
Capital 10 triathlon in a row.
it's a 10K in Austin,
Okay,
but it's the 48th in a row that I've done
that's amazing. So 48 10K races in a row,
in a row.
and that's yearly.
Yeah, each April-ish or so, March, April. And I plan on doing 15 more
That's yeah. So that's our
or
goal
however many.
is to get him as many more as many more races as he can possibly do. So we've taken care of you for your right hip.
Mm.
We're also doing some IV therapies just to help you recover.
It would come and go, and I didn't ever really call it a pain scale of 6 or 8, anything where but it would come and go, and when it was there, though, I felt like I needed to do something.
Mhm.
And, of course, surgery is not a good option for me for a lot of reasons. Um, and I'm just glad that you're here to take care of this other option.
Well, thank you. We're glad to be
I
here.
mean, didn't want to have to drive to Dallas Fort Worth or wherever.
Right.
So that's a very good plus, and I feel like I'm getting premier treatment anyway.
Thank you.
Well, I was the type personality that likes to do as much as I can stand to do. Not abuse myself totally, but just do as much as I can. So the motivation's there to go,
Hmm.
and I just didn't want to be held back by something.
Yeah.
And this hip was the weak link, that was coming by. Well, just hearing that you had the alternative treatments
Yeah.
and reading about it, of course, online and doing some research, having a medical background, understanding, things about it that were beyond just, the advertisement.
Right. Right.
So, well, I had seen a bone marrow aspirate done in the operating room when I was giving anesthesia, and it looked a little violent, but not outrageous.
Right.
So I had a little bit of reservation. I thought, but they're going to hammer on, this trocar, and it's going. But it's like it wasn't bad at all, and so I was very pleasantly surprised with that sort of thing. Um, and you offer anesthesia for those procedures, of course, if someone is,
Yeah. If
you
if
know.
if we need to, we can do
But
anesthesia.
I was
We
very,
don't
I
typically.
was very pleasantly surprised, and so that all went great. Um, but I just wanted to feel like I was going to get results because I'm willing to put up with a lot if I can get some results.
Yeah.
And so I thought, even if the bone marrow stuff and all this stuff did hurt or something, it's still I'll do whatever because I would love to get the results. So
To that point, I think one of the biggest benefits of these treatments is that we have very little downtime. So, what was your downtime like after your procedure? Now, we slowed you down as far as running. We didn't want you doing a bunch of running, but what did
exactly,
you have any downtime? Did you have to stay in bed, anything like that?
no, not at all. Now after the bone marrow, the next day, I did take 2 Tylenol, and I was limping, but within 48 hours, I was back to doing pretty well.
Great, great.
And again, I was still you said it was still okay to do, like, elliptical and walking and biking and other things, so
Yeah, we want to keep you moving,
yes,
especially if we have an athlete like Mark who is going to be out there doing something like a 10K within about 6 weeks of his treatments.
exactly.
That's
Well, even simple things like getting in and out of the car and stuff like that, where your hip would kind of, talk to you, that's better, but, I just, again, like to push myself on some other athletic endeavors, and so,
yeah.
you know, I'm not just wanting to get around the house. If all I wanted to do was get around the house and go see my kids play, sports or something, I'd say it's 100% worth it.
Hmm.
But I'm trying to take it to that next level, and so
Yeah.
I'm probably expecting a whole lot more.
We're
And
working. We're still
and
working
and I
towards that.
and I'm getting there.
Mhm.
So I'm very pleased, but it's just that was an expectation that I would only tell other people that, if you just wanna be getting around, you're gonna be great.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing that even in a high impact activity like
Yeah,
running
running is probably the
10
most.
kilometers, we can make such a huge difference in an arthritic hip like yours.
I guess for the other person, it's gonna be a decision about how involved they want their treatment to be. For instance, I did the GI mapping and the
Mhm.
lab work and everything, and that was very interesting to me, and we found some, glitches.
Yeah, so we've done a whole wellness program with Mark, would optimized him around a lot of different factors.
But that was very interesting to me medically,
Yeah,
on
made a
the
big
side. It's just very interesting. And of course, that optimizes things, and that's what I wanted to do is optimize those things because those will carry through to the future.
That's right.
So
That's
yes, but the other people that would try and make that decision, they may not need or want all that kind of the stuff, or they may.
Mhm.
But I enjoyed that because it was very interesting to me, and I feel like I'm optimizing
Yeah,
the procedure.
and you're feeling better.
Yes.
Fantastic. That's what we're going for every time.
Yeah, and some of those things take a while, your gut takes a while to heal if something's wrong with it or, the whole inflammatory process. I've almost felt the inflammatory process coming down in cycles, I call it,
Mhm.
where it'll get, it's kind of like it's getting there slowly.
Getting better every day,
Yeah,
and we're here to support
so
you.
I'm happy to be here.
All right. Anything else you wanna say?
Just go for it.
All right. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate
Sure.
you, and I appreciate the fact that you are an amazing athlete to be still competing and doing the things that you do.
Well, if I can be famous for finishing this race the most times of anyone, that's my goal.
Yeah,
And it may be another 10 or 15 times before I'm that person,
let's do it.
but, I'm gonna go for it.
That sounds like a great plan. We'll help. We'll be here for you.
All right.
All right. Thank you, my
All right.
friend.